Yo, 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 we are coming in hot, 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 hot. We took a break. And now we're back. And this is going to be one of those ones. I can tell you that right now. And I'm going to just say this. I'm a competitor. This will be the best Cowboys show this season. So if you're not subscribed, I'm going to say it one more time, Scott, so they hear me. This will be the best Cowboys pod. You're going to get film breakdowns. You're going to get John in the locker room this season. I'm a competitor. We're taking heads off. I'm not playing. John Machota, Law Nation, Skywalker Steel. You guys know who they are. We're going to get right into it because we got a lot to talk about. You guys know the faces. Sky got a fresh shape up. Law he's in paradise. And John Machota's looking clean as usual. Johnny. Here's Johnny.
I mean, I'm just going to say it's just great to be back out in California to get these videos. That's all I'm allowed, these videos. I mean, this is just how my mind works. I know a lot of people probably don't think this way, but like, man, when Micah leaves the field and I see him coming back, I'm just like, oh, we're getting some content here. He clearly wants to talk right now. There's going to be something here. And certainly that's dominated. Everything out here has been Micah Parsons, and that's not just because of Micah. That's also because obviously things Jerry said yesterday in that press conference to kick off the start of training camp. And so, that's been the biggest thing. But obviously, you know, I'm sure you guys saw some of the videos and stuff from today. There's a lot of, you know, little interesting things, not a really like great practice or anything like that, but it's the first practice. It's, just in shorts and helmets, no one's hitting or anything like that. Everybody's still kind of getting on the same page. But a lot of energy out there, you know, I mean, it reminded me a little bit of some of those Jason Garrett training camps where like the music's blaring throughout, a lot of energy. The guys you can tell are like really into it. And let's be honest, you know, if you just follow some other teams right now, I think the biggest thing that you are happy about is that everybody got through today's practice healthy. That first training camp practice. You never know, things can happen. And it seems like they checked out of this one pretty good. So there's a lot to talk about. So we can go whatever way you guys want.
Well, first and foremost, welcome back, everybody. I know I did the intro, but
shouts out to the chat, man. It's been a while. We missed y'all.
And you guys were waiting on us. Housekeeping before we go. We're here Tuesday and Thursday. It'll be 9:00 Eastern, correct, fellas? And you guys will be getting those updates from John. John, I have a question. With that walk-off that just happened with Diggs and Micah, did you feel like it was like, man, they wanted to get that off their chest?
Absolutely. No, I certainly. And that's why, I mean, I've said before, I know I've said it on here, but I've said this to a lot of people. I think Micah Parsons is kind of like the player version of Jerry Jones. And it was like when Jerry said what he needed to say at the press conference, it was like Micah's like, oh, that's cool. Well, I mean, I'll just give you here's a great way to kind of just describe it to you guys from just being out here for several years. Micah Parsons, without question, is a go to the podium guy. And so for him to just start talking out on the field like that, that's not like usually what they do is, especially this first week that we're out here, they set something up with like basically, you know, today Pickens went to the podium and tomorrow will probably be like Dak or something, or tomorrow was probably going to be Micah, but you know, he ended up talking today. Clearly he wanted to say what he wanted to say. It was kind of like, okay, well, Jerry's going to say that. Well, here's my side of the story. And obviously Diggs, a similar boat, obviously good friends with Micah Parsons, didn't care for some of the stuff that Jerry said, Diggs saying today that he was surprised that he was getting docked that $500,000 off of not being at all those workouts.
Tweeted, John.
That was clearly on something that they wanted to do after practice was over. And so that should make for an interesting training camp throughout because, Jerry's going to talk. And as long as Micah's out here, I can see Micah doing the exact same thing. My biggest takeaway from Micah talking today was it was like, it's just very clear that it's not like he feels like he's in the middle anymore. Like, oh, it's between, my agent and the Cowboys. No, it's very clear that he wants Steven or Jerry to call David Mulligetta. And until that happens, then a deal doesn't get done. And so who's going to budge on that? When does that happen? And this is the thing, like, you just really hope it isn't one of these things like last year with CD where it drags out all a camp and it's just like, well, no, they're happy that Micah's just here and that's good enough. Like, no, now with the new coaching staff, you got to have him out there practicing. And so he did say his back was tight, but I think that's more of a, yeah, but when I get this contract signed, my back is going to be just fine.
I said this a while ago when it came to the situation privately. I don't know if I said it publicly. I said they're in for a totally different animal with Micah Parsons because he doesn't have a filter, and he will showcase how he feels about anything, whether it be his contract or whether it be his ranking or whether it be another player's contract. He's very vocal. And when I initially thought maybe this thing could hopefully get done before camp, but when it started trending towards that way, I said, okay, now Micah's going to be there. He loves football. He's going to be there. And you talked about he's a podium guy. Well, this goes to show you, I don't want to wait to get to the podium to tell you how I feel. So if Jerry thinks this is going to be Dak Prescott just rolling out there and everything's good to go, if Jerry thinks it's going to be Zach Martin staying at home or CeeDee Lamb staying at home or Des Bryant, he was kind of vocal during that time in 2015-ish. This is a totally different animal. This is a new generation of kids. You even see Diggs clapping back via Twitter. But speaking contractually, Micah's going to fight back with his words as well. And I just wonder when this thing will cave.
Law?
Yeah, I think that when you got two alpha males, it's going to happen. Jerry Jones is just that. He's going to have his return of words. And now we know that Trevon Diggs and what Micah Parsons said today is just going to be a cycling situation and a continuous one until Micah Parsons get paid. And they got to lay off Trevon Diggs to a degree because I get it. Money is lost. But he's fighting to recover to get back out there on the field. It's not like he's doing other things.
I want to put a pin in that, Law.
Yeah, go ahead.
John, you had something?
No, I was just laughing. I was laughing at a comment about someone talking about Sky's haircut.
Shape up. I mean, it's amazing.
I got a fresh boy. I got the fresh boy yesterday. It was James Carr. Pull that up. That's fine.
Hey, John. The dude is. I mean, I've never seen him without a lineup. Number one,
every day.
And, I mean, he's different, bro. Like, I mean, Johnny, welcome to the cookout, John. Hold on, I can't find it. Where did it go? Oh, there we go.
I'm gonna start bringing my I got clippers. I'm gonna start bringing them here. And every time somebody brings something up,
hey Dave,
these are the things that like I can't. I was always like the kid in class that I would always laugh at everybody and you know any jokes and stuff. I could never be serious, and so it's the same way. Like even me as an adult, like I can't like we're in this walk off yesterday with Jerry. And Clarence keeps trying to look at me with stuff that Jerry's saying. And I'm just like, dude, stop looking at me because I'm just going to start laughing in his face. Like, don't do it. So it's like I got to sometimes turn this chat off because I'll just start laughing at stuff. And if someone's making a serious point, I don't want to be in here like laughing because people think, oh, you're laughing at whatever he said or whatever.
John, please
there's some
laugh.
stuff in that chat that's hilarious.
You're going to have to. The chat is another show within the show. I'm trying to tell you. It's another show in the show.
Hey, matter of fact, hey, you know what? Since John coming to the cookout, John, what you bringing?
Yeah,
you better not.
No, John, don't mess this up now.
I'm probably one of the pickiest eaters there are, so I'm not even going to say anything. I am very like I am as picky comes. Like I eat a lot of like just like burgers, pizza. Like I don't really chicken, salads. Like I don't eat any seafood. So like that's a big one out here in California.
You ain't finna bring nothing.
Yeah, bring the beer. Bring the beer.
John about to bring the middle
bring
light.
The alcohol, but yeah, no, you guys would be very disappointed with my food palette. But yeah, no, especially being out here, everybody eats seafood all the time, and I never eat seafood.
John, I'm gonna tell you this: as long as you don't got no raisins in your potato salad, or no,
the way John talking, just bring, like my man said, just bring the paper plates, John. The way you,
hey, John.
Utensil John.
That's it. Bring a few beers, like, and you good, John. Come on in. Nah, but hey, speaking of the press conference, I thought it was really good when Shotty spoke. Hey, you know, John, I want to ask you this. You are the GOAT because you actually ask football questions. The question you asked about what Shotty wanted to make his mark on the first camp? Excellent question. Because when he said, see, one thing I'm doing, and I'm even on my channel, Scott, I've been saying, I want to see if Shotty's going to stay consistent with who he wants to be. And when he said, no motto, I love that. To hell with the posters. I don't want to hear no mea culpa, none of that. So whatever, you know what I'm saying, Scott? I don't want to hear no, yeah, bro, Carpe, whatever, bro.
Rooted and booted. Yeah,
I'm done. John, I'm done. I don't want a sweatshirt. This is gonna be the only sweatshirt I wear all year. I'm simple. But when he said physicality, I like you, Shotty. That's it. Because that's what I wanted to hear. He said, listen, we want to have the most physical camp that we can have. We want to win the line of scrimmage. John, what you saw today at camp, is it real? The energy, the fire? I know I've seen posts about, he's dancing, but like, do you see this is real and it's continuous and the players can feel it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you're a fan of the team, there's that whole, 29 years without a Super Bowl run and all that. But like, I don't get the sense that like this team feels that, like that's not really, I mean, a lot of these guys haven't been around that long. And so it seems like it's a hungry group. Sam Williams certainly seemed like he wanted to mix it up today a bunch. I'm interested to see when the pads come on. He's probably pretty high on my list of someone that might want to start a fight. But outside of that, no, I mean, there's only so much you can do right now until the pads come on. And so that'll be the big telltale sign, especially when they do some of the periods in the goal line, and you're giving it to the backs right on the goal line where everybody knows that you're running it and you're doing it to, put some big hits out there, which you don't see until, it's between end of the season until that like second week of training camp practice when they start doing that stuff. There's really nothing like that in between. There's nothing that they do during the offseason that's anything like that. And so that's where you'll know a lot. But when I bring that up, I also say this, like, I thought Javonte Williams looked pretty good. I thought Miles Sanders looked pretty good. But man, I'm telling you, when they were giving the ball to Kevontae Turpin in space, like and some handoffs, they did back-to-back handoffs with Turpin. Like, man, if he can get the ball without being touched, I mean, he is a home run threat.
Dynamic.
I mean, it's crazy how fast he is out of that backfield. So just some of the stuff I saw today, it kind of ratcheted up for me how much I think he's going to be involved in the run game. And then Deuce Vaughn looked pretty good too. He's kind of a fun one for the videos because when he comes out like behind the line, it looks cool because he's so small. Like, but now, hey, let's be honest here. They're not tackling either. So it's
I was just about to say, John, I think this is still more of a carryover from OTAs with the running backs. The pads is next week. For sure. And I do think that
Sunday,
Javonte Williams will be the one that probably stands out most in those situations. Maybe Miles Sanders, but and then maybe Jaden Blue. I don't know, but that's going to be an interesting spot for us, obviously, to talk about. But again, I don't want to talk too much about it because it doesn't really matter what happens today. It matters like when those pads are on. That's when we're going to tell a lot, and obviously in the preseason games too as well. But no, there was juice out there today. No question about it. It seemed like guys were excited to be there. And great attendance. I mean, Trevon Diggs is there. DeMarvion Overshown's there. Micah Parsons is there. I mean, that's pretty much all you can ask for. I mean, I can't think of another Cowboy guy looking for a contract that's at training camp. I mean, the times I've covered the team, outside of Dak, obviously. I mean, the quarterbacks usually don't do that, but like you just see Terry McLaurin right now with Washington, and I'll be honest with you guys. I know he said it to us a month or two ago. And I know he said it to the Undertaker the other day that he was going to be at camp, but I was still a little surprised when I saw Micah run out there with the helmet and all that. I thought he would be in just like kind of,
you thought he would do a sit-in?
Well, me and Clarence were kind of trying to be in an area we weren't supposed to be during the morning walkthrough to see if he'd be out there. And he was. And I thought he would be like that, like basically dressed in like kind of like, just shorts and a t-shirt where he'd be with the position. But then he ran out in his jersey with his helmet on and everything, just like he was doing at minicamp. And I was like, all right, well, he's holding up his end of the bargain.
Different cat, man. He's a different cat. Can I touch back on the physicality real quick, Law? Before I let you go there, when you brought up the physicality aspect of what Shotty was saying and being consistent, I know there's some question marks in the chat. Shouts out to you guys. I think the Guru said, well, didn't Mike McCarthy say that? to be honest, Mike McCarthy was preaching all of that after we got our ass kicked against San Francisco, right? That was the whole in 2021. Oh, we got to be more physical. That's why we're drafting, big country and Bohannas, et cetera, et cetera. But when it came to actually implementing that, did he really do that? We're seeing Shoddy bring in guys who preach that physicality, and Clayton Adams and Connor Riley. We're seeing Shoddy talk about, not just talk about it, but it's in his DNA and it's in his resume that, he'll run the damn ball if he needs to. Talk about play action, under center. Clayton Adams talking about under center. Drafting Tyler Booker early. I feel like, yes, we don't have proof just yet because we're in preseason, no games, but I feel like the little bit of action we've seen, I take him for his word over Mike McCarthy, who we know, you look at the history of his resume, he's never been, we're going to be physical, we're going to win the line of scrimmage. That's not his game.
Yeah, Law, you got something?
Well, just to echo what Scott is saying, yes, it's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to do it. And speaking of that, John, by this being the first practice, I'm used to a ramp-up period. Did they just forget about that? Because
that's
there was
a
a
great
lot of
point,
highlights.
Law.
There was a lot of things.
That's a great point.
This team showing all of those things. So John, what's the difference between the two practices of whether or not how Mike McCarthy ran it and how Shoddy is running it right now?
I mean, no question about the number one thing that you would notice, and several of us were talking about it today, is that they got the music pumping throughout, and you can tell the players are really into that. It keeps they're into it regardless. I mean, they're obviously NFL players, but there's not really, like, even in between periods where you're getting water or whatever. Like, it just seems like, guys, there was a lot of good emotion, a lot of good energy that I don't know if that was just a thing that Mike McCarthy wasn't big on. Like, I mean, it wasn't like there wasn't any music, but you could just tell that there was more of that. And that was just the way it was during OTAs and minicamp with Schottenheimer. Same way, his energy going from position group around, same deal. Like, he knows it starts with him by doing that. Dak, same way. I tweeted out a video of him when they were doing some warm-up stuff. Like, you can tell Dak was, really fired up with this crew. So in terms of a ramp up, I will say in the drills, like, even when they went to team, you knew, like, on the first, like, 4 or 5 reps that, like, even though they might have done a couple of fake handoffs, you knew that they weren't going to throw deep. They're not going to just do that right off the bat. But they worked their way into it. I mean, Joe Milton threw a couple deep balls. Dak, same thing. But yeah, they showed a lot of stuff today that I would think you'd see in a walkthrough practice 2 weeks from now. I didn't think that there was anything about it today that if I just showed up and I didn't know when camp started, if this was the second week of camp, it wouldn't have surprised me. There was nothing that, like, there's like one ball that Dak threw to Pickens where they weren't on the same page. Pickens kept going deep and Dak expected him to break off the route. But outside of that, I mean, that's stuff that you'd probably see whenever you have like a new top receiver like that. And obviously they got to get still on the same page. It's going to take a little bit of time, but there was nothing else that really stood out to me like that I was like, oh yeah, this seems like, they're just starting camp or whatever. It seems like they've ratcheted it up, and that I didn't really think there was any sloppy play. The ball was on the ground a little bit. I don't know if you want to credit the defense for that or not, knocking it loose, but there had to be at least 3 or 4 fumbles forced today with the first and second.
I heard
defense.
A couple picks too. Marshawn Nealon got one.
Marshawn Nealon had a hell of a play. Yeah, picking off a route in the flat. That was impressive to see for sure.
How good would it be if he comes into his own?
You want to see this. I mean, and this is something maybe we should have brought up, y'all, because you know how people get, right? Oh, back to a pick, or I don't know, somebody dropped the ball, or it's going to get crazy. You hope your defense is not getting their ass whooped every single day. You hope they're fighting with the offense. I don't want the offense to just run all over the defense. I don't want the defense to run over the offense. I want this thing to be iron sharpening iron. But we know how the fans are going to be.
Yeah, something that I saw today was just the usage of Pickens, man. Like, first of all, I got to do this, John. John has the best videos. Everybody else just stop. I just got to say that. No, people put out some pretty cool videos, but if it's not mature, it doesn't count. And then second of all, watching George Pickens and CD come out together, it was like, man, we really have George Pickens. But then watching George Pickens move, like, I know I saw you tweet this out, Sky, and I was kind of tweeting with Nick Harris about they had one play where they sent him in motion. They sent CD in motion, and then George Pickens turned to the number 2 receiver, and they just ran like a stick concept. And like, to be honest with y'all, everybody has comped GP to, oh man, he's going to be like how Michael Gallup. But like, you didn't use Michael Gallup over the middle of the field. And I want to ask you this, John. Yeah, exactly, still. And so I want to ask you this, John, movement wise, because I saw now that we talk about the ball being on the ground at the end of that run.
Yeah,
you know, the ball did get punched out. But man, Pickens is sneaky after the catch. Like, how does he look moving, John?
No, he looked good today, but you saying that made me think of him after practice talking about, you just really get the feel that he didn't feel like he was getting used to his full capabilities in Pittsburgh.
I got to go watch.
And he feels that that's going to happen here, that from what he's seen, obviously working with CD in the offseason, and then, obviously with Schottenheimer calling plays and stuff like that, that it's more than just, hey, you know what? You're just going to be the guy that runs these go balls because you do such a good job at that. Like, we're going to mix you in. I mean, there's going to be plenty of that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's the thing. That's one of the reasons you add him, is for the big playability. That, like Schottenheimer said, there weren't enough big plays last year. That's one of the biggest reasons you add him. But I got the sense today when he talked after practice that that's what he's really thrilled about, is that kind of the things that he does really well and the things CD does really well, it kind of fits together, to where you don't really have like the two exact same wide receivers. They both do something a little bit different. They can complement each other, and they both genuinely seem excited about that. And I know that is a small thing to some, that, oh, big deal that they walked out together, but it really gave me kind of memories of that's how it was when it was, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Lyle Collins, Travis Frederick, like, that, hey, you're the guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the group that, at that time, using those offensive linemen, that you can argue that was the face of those teams, was that offensive line play. And certainly if this team is to have a lot of success this year, I just don't see a way that happens without CD and George both having big years.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
This is something that they'll have to lean on. I know we want to compliment. We definitely want to complement the pass game with the run game, right? We want that to be efficient, play action, etc. But let's not fool ourselves. If the Cowboys offense is going to be dynamic, it's going to be because of the passing game, because you have one of the franchise best, in my opinion, best quarterbacks in the league. You have one of the best duo receivers in the league. If Ferg is back, you have, I think, one of the better tight ends in the league. Your pass game is going to be what is the strength. You're going to need the run game to complement it, but you're right about this. Pickens, Lamb, they have to lead the charge here offensively from a skill position standpoint.
Can I throw out? We'll go back to actual on the field talk in a second, but I wanted to throw out this idea to you guys real quick before we get too deep into the show. Just a thought I have in the Micah Parsons thing. I haven't heard this from anybody, but I want to hear your guys' opinions on. I was thinking the other day, like, what leverage does Jerry really have here when there's not anybody that he's really wanted that he hasn't paid. So we all sit here and we're just like, Jerry, we all know how this ends. With Micah Parsons getting a contract, it's just about when is it? And so I was thinking, okay, so the only thing that he could possibly have is everybody assumes that because of TJ Watt's deal and Myles Garrett's deal that, well, hey, you're the next guy in line. You're going to be the highest paid guy. What if in Jerry's mind or Steven's mind or both, they look at the Dak deal as everybody told us that about quarterback too. And look at the quarterbacks that have signed since then. No one's topped Dak's number, including Josh Allen. I wonder if they think that. And when I'm asking you guys this, I'm not saying that's a good way to look at it, because I don't think you should be even trying to do that with Micah. He's 26 years old. He's in the prime of his career. He's deserving of another deal. But do you guys think that factors in with them at all? That, well, nobody else did top the Dak deal. Everybody said that was going to happen.
I'll go. I think, to me, and shout out to the chat. Chat is very active today. 400 people in here. John, Jerry has no leverage, and all of this it just feels like posturing, John. It does, which I've defended the Joneses. I don't think that it was smart to kind of compare Diggs and Micah, because I don't think that for as well as Diggs played, in 21 or the year he had the interceptions, I don't think that they're the same caliber of player. And I just don't think that you play with your food when it comes to a player like Micah. And I was on record saying that they would have this done by camp. It's not done. So that part, cool. I also don't want Micah to fall into, this is just me, I don't want Micah to fall into the, TJ Watt retweeting the money line dude of a clip chopped up of Jerry saying something stupid, because if you let JJ Watt, my bad. Because if you let Jerry talk, he's gonna keep talking, and before you know it, you'll have a clip and you'll have all the reporters will be fed, right, John? But I think, to me, no, Jerry has no leverage, and it just feels like stupid posturing. But I also don't think that him and Diggs are like, I didn't like the correlation that he tried to make, because to me it's not the same. Micah's in a whole different category. Like, there was no time that I thought Micah Diggs was the best corner in the league. Miss me personally, as well as he played, never thought he was the best corner in the league. I genuinely think that Micah Parsons, if he plays and stays healthy, can be the best defender in the league and win. But that's just me. So that's my thoughts on it.
It's a great point for us.
Law.
I was just going to say, with everything is posturing, right? We know he's going to sign him. It's just that we got a pin to tail on the donkey every time. And all this does is just create a divide, because there are some Cowboy fans with the belief that they shouldn't pay Parsons, or they should trade Parsons and get rid of Parsons and these sorts of things. So if Jerry just go ahead and pay Parsons and then worry about the ancillary pieces like on the Osa down the stretch, then that would have been a better situation. But Jerry did it backwards. He paid Osa first. And I'm not saying that Osa is devalued or not as valuable as Parsons, but Parsons should be the go-to guy in this whole equation. So now we're working backwards. We know he's going to get paid. I guess maybe now we're waiting for Trey Henderson to get paid, and then we pay Parsons. I don't know the game, but it is what it is at this point.
Hey, Steele, real quick before you go, someone in the chat said that's what the reporters want. I find it, maybe nationally.
There's some of them.
John doesn't.
Like, I would be just
John,
fine. I'm just thinking of like everybody that I talk to that covers the team, like we're kind of exhausted with it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I just said, it would be more interesting if there was a different end result with even one player over 10 years. If you were just like, yeah, but remember with so-and-so, they let him walk and they were playing hardball with him. There's nobody like that. There's no, like, DeMarco Murray, not in that category. Byron Jones, not in that category. DeMarcus Ware, they thought he was done. That's not in that category. I'm talking about Dak. I'm talking about, Des Bryant, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, like all those, the guys ended up getting their money, after whatever. So from my perspective, if this was a different team where this stuff doesn't normally happen, maybe, I'd say, that is, as from a reporting standpoint, it makes it interesting. I'm good with it, to be honest with you. I would have had no problem if Micah got his deal done 3 weeks ago and we went into camp and we went in that press conference and all we were asking about is how they're going to do things with the new coaching staff and position battles, whatever. But when you have arguably, like Foot said, maybe the best defensive player in the game, that's a big topic not to be talking about.
Is it though? Because of what you said. This happens all the time. I would have loved if y'all got together and y'all just did a boycott contract question. Like, don't say anything. Let's see if Jerry just brings it up himself to see if he wants to be the guy to really. We know he does, but let him, give him the rope to hang himself. I don't mean literally, y'all, because people clip this up and Sky wants Jerry to. No, I don't. I'm just saying, give him enough rope and let him kick away the chair himself. I would have loved if everybody would just went in there straight football questions or straight what will happen with Trevon Diggs or what have you, because that was interesting. Contract Micah Parsons, to me, come on, it's going to happen. Jerry Jones is Detective Frank Drebin from Naked Gun. He no one takes him serious. He says all these silly, crazy things. Sometimes he'll hit, on some of the things he's saying, but I don't care about what he has to say about contracts when it comes to the top of the market players, because he's going to pay them. And John, you don't ask these type of questions unless it's legitimate questions, but there are reporters that constantly ask these weird questions. Like, what information are we getting from this? What is Detective Frank Drebin, Jerry Jones really going to give us besides talking about, middle fingers and rectums and talking about, his show and like, come on, y'all. Football.
I will say I did find it a little bit fascinating that, okay, like I don't know that all the way down because I've been busy. So I don't know every little detail with Trey Hendrickson right now. And there really hasn't been much that I've heard out of Detroit with Aiden Hutchinson. But obviously TJ Watt's done. If he wasn't, he would be in the same category, with these top edge rushers trying to get paid. Obviously his got done because obviously the Steelers don't want distractions. But I do find it interesting that Jerry and Steven have still not talked to David Mulligata. I mean, that's just wild to me. I'm sorry. You can not be into the contract talks or not. That's wild to me that still has not happened yet.
Jerry is so smart, though. He basically would say that Micah Parsons is still under contract and he's obligated.
He said it.
He's definitely said that.
Exactly. So is Jerry John is pretty much telling us who's absolutely running this thing by saying that, hey, he don't talk to the agents, he don't talk to X, Y, and Z, he only talk to the principals. And now that we're hearing that Stephen Jones is doing all of the talking, because Stephen Jones did lament the fact that he's the one that's talking to David Mulligata. And then earlier today, Micah Parsons saying that, hey, David Mulligata called the front office and he haven't gotten any return yet. So is some of this is being leaked out that basically Stephen Jones is running this ship?
I still think, I've always thought that the percentage goes up by the year of his influence, but still at the end of the day, especially with these big contract things, you can make the argument that that's the thing that Jerry is most interested in being involved in. It's not like they have these disappointing seasons, and it's not like Jerry's angry for months. He loves talking to the media. He loves being out in training camp. He loves being out here in California. He loves the fun stories of things. That probably factors in with hiring Brian Schottenheimer, with, the son of Marty and a guy that, you thought would be a head coach 10 years ago and he hasn't gotten the chance. And now all of a sudden they didn't think he would be the guy. And then all of a sudden he impresses them. And now Jerry loves all that story side of it and all too. But in terms of like the old 90s Jerry, where he was probably really like, and maybe he still is, and I don't know how he is with his oil and drilling and real estate business. But in terms of football, like the contract stuff is the one part left where I really feel that Jerry is the 90s Jerry, of how he'll be petty and dug in, because a lot of the other stuff that he does, like it just seems like it's a little bit like he's happy just to be owning an NFL team, and it's just kind of a fun thing for him.
He said that the other year. I think it was last year when he said, "Hey man, I didn't buy this for my kids. I bought this for me, and until I'm gone, I'm gonna run it my way." Jay-Z got a lyric that reminds me of kind of what Jerry said when he was like, "Hey, I don't talk to the agents, man. I let so and so do it." And Steven said, "Yeah, I do it." And he says, Jay-Z, that is, a brother gotta admire me from 4 fiends away. Like that's kind of what Jerry is saying. Like, hey, I don't deal directly with the street level people. You know what I'm saying? I deal with Goodell. I'm talking to the owners. I'm gonna let my son, deal with all that other stuff. Or I'm gonna let he brought up Adam, right? Adam Pacifica. People who don't know who that is, that's the friend of the friend. That's the homie, Stephen Jones, little homie, that's really running these numbers. And he should probably be up out of here. But so Jerry, I think, was really kind of, he was trying to big up everybody to say, I don't deal with these contracts for real till it's time to sign. And I think that is why this is unique in a negative way. The way the Cowboys operate these deals, this is the issue. You got to admire me from 4 fiends away. You got 4 different people that are dealing with one contract.
Well, another factor in this though too is that there's no question Jerry thought they were close on a deal a few months ago, and it moved to the point where, okay, Jerry and Mike had these talks and it seemed like it was close. And then when David Mulligata and Micah talked, then it was like, now the deal's not happening. And I bet you that there's a part of Jerry that felt like we did the parameters of every part of this deal that I thought was fair, you thought was fair, and now your agent is the one that doesn't want this to go through. So now Jerry, almost in a way, is going to be like, I'm angry at the agent. Now he's not going to say that, but he's going to do it in his own little like Jerry jab ways, about like, oh, I don't know the agent's name and things like that. I think that is a factor too, that Jerry thought a few months ago that they were really close and it was about to be done. And then now here we are.
Hey,
John. But we can go back to football. I just wanted to get your
Hey, John.
I was about to say, I got a football thought from some notes I saw, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, John.
Go ahead.
Hey, Sky, Law. It's 500 people in here, man. Cowboys Collective is back. Shout out to y'all, man. I saw that a few people had said where they were from. We also got a super. This has been great conversation. It's so much to talk about, y'all. That's not football. That is football. So we'll try to get to everything today. But if you haven't caught us today, you can catch us on the replay wherever you listen to. Excuse me. I got to get back. Wherever you listen to, podcasts, iTunes, Spotify. You guys check us out. Add us at Cowboys Collective. And like I said, we're going to be the best. And that's just that on that. We got a $10 from Maximilian. Let me see if I can get this on the screen. And it just says, salute, fellas. And we're going to tell you salute back, Max. Thank you for that $10. Oh, yeah, Max. Hey, Max, when he get going, he drops heat for sure. So, Max. Yeah, Max, thank you, man. We got a $5. See how I go? We'll talk about this. I'm glad this super came up. Yep, and I saw this, and you know what? I started to text Sky. So this is Sky's like sometimes when I feel like I'm about to lose it or say, man, they're getting on my nerves, Sky. I text Sky, and then me and Sky will have a conversation, and I'll probably start texting John too. I just know John is busy and rolling around. It either be Sky or Voch that I'm texting. Hey, what are we looking at? And I know Voch was down there with the lineman, but anyway. He says on this $5, John, Mazi lost weight. Did it look better or are we cutting him? So I want to preface this, and thank you for that $5. They talked about this, correct, John? About him wanting to trim him. Now, this is where I was going to text Sky, but I said, you know what? Let's just hash it out on the show. My thoughts, John, before you go, because he asked this question for you, my thoughts is this. Matt Eberflus has a better handle these are the numbers. Matt Eberflus and Aaron Whitecotton have a better handle of how to defend the run, what they want certain techniques to look like than Dan Quinn when he lost all this weight under Dan Quinn. So I think when it came out that Mazi lost weight, I got a lot of texts like, man, I don't like this. So I'm not going to overreact. I stopped myself today, John, because I was just like, what are we doing? Big plugger. What? But I want to see it through. John, how did he look?
So I'm not great on the just judging weights, but Schottenheimer said he's right at 300. And so I think that's a little bit low for one.
Yeah, that's light.
One technique defensive tackle.
Very light.
Tech, brother.
So to answer the question about are they cutting him, that would surprise me because I don't see many players on the roster where you're just like, well, yeah, they just really loaded up at DT, so his job's on the line. I mean, it's kind of a pretty good position for him, So no, I do not see them cutting him, but I am fascinated to see how this works. And of course, Schottenheimer's going to point to that Eberflus's defense is different than what Zimmer wanted, which was different than Dan Quinn wanted. But the problem that I always go back to, if this doesn't work out, if this is another, Taco Charlton, Tristan Hill situation, is like, obviously Dan Quinn wanted him. Dan Quinn obviously knows what he's doing. Even if you didn't think he was a great head coach, it's hard to argue he's not one of the best defensive coaches in the game, at the very least, And for this I'm not sitting here saying like, okay, first round pick, you got to make a Pro Bowl every once in a while, but for it to be as ineffective as it's been is stunning to me, because I'm not even one of these guys that's like, oh, well, he's got to get 5 or 6 sacks. Like, well, yeah, I mean, if he did, that'd be great. But like, that's not what I really look at him for. But it's just like the get off. It's the, just dealing with double teams,
real,
the things that you would expect from a first round, defensive tackle who obviously was a good player in college. It's a head scratcher to me. So I was a little surprised today when they said that, when Brian said that he lost weight. But it didn't sound like it was something that he did on his own. It sounds like that's what they wanted him to do. So we'll see how it works out. But I really do think they'll be fine at 3 technique. A lot of people talk about how their defensive tackle spot, they don't like it. it's really the one tech for me. Like I do think that they'll get
techs.
enough out of Osa and Solomon Thomas and
Exactly.
and somebody else. And I do think that Matt Eberflus will use. I do think this will be better for Osa. Like the way that Matt Eberflus uses the 3 technique, I do think Osa could really, have a big year. But it's that one technique spot for a team that's had problems stopping the run.
It's that part, John.
Yeah.
It's just that we've had those issues. Sky, I didn't mean to jump in, Sky. I'm sorry. It's just
I'm a little taken back. I knew he got smaller based off the reports. I didn't hear the 300. So this is a genuine shock to me that he's at 3. And I honestly, man, just this is a serious question. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? He came in the pros at 330. I heard they did not ask him to lose weight that first year. There were some mental things that he lost weight. Second year, he put on a little bit more weight, right? He was very inconsistent, but you saw more flashes. But to me, nothing to be like, hey, we fine here. Mazi's fine. No, I wanted to bring somebody here to either push him or make him a backup. That never happened. And now we hear he's 300 pounds. This snap stuff, it doesn't sit right with me, because if they want him to play 1 tech, 3 tech, both, he does not have the get off to be a 3. You can go look at his film all last year. Extremely inconsistent in getting off the ball at the snap. When he did it, it looked good, but it wasn't consistent enough. And this goes through 2 different regimes. So this isn't a coaching issue. This is him. It's been this way in Michigan. It was his first year. It was his second year. This scheme does require more attacking, penetrating type of defense. That's not Mazi's skill set. And Greg Ellis said something very interesting. Is like he said it. Coach Greg Ellis, who coached him, said, we try to go back to what was his strength from Michigan, but now they're going back to a more penetrating type of scheme, and maybe they might look to trade him because it doesn't fit him. Like, that's what he said. I'm not saying they're going to trade him, but he brought it up.
It's a real conversation.
It's a very real conversation, especially when you look at the flaws of Mazi. His burst, his get off, is absolutely
consistency.
His way of disengaging. He plays with a high pad level. So the quickest way to correct that versus technique is for him to trim the fat, trim the size. And even though we know size matter at that position, and if you think I'm lying, ask the ladies. You got to get the penetration. Excuse me, I know this is a PG-13 show, but if they want Mazi,
Law has entered the chat.
I'm just saying.
Law said you gotta be
like
something for me to do something.
But being 30 pounds to 40 pounds lighter than what we expected him to be, that's not going to work. So I think that they're going to give him a shot and see what he can do. But they should be looking for a 340, 350 guy to fit right in for this defense.
Or somebody that plays with game strength. Like, no offense to Mazi Smith, because some of the film from the games against the division, it was better film. But I've seen Mazi pushed around real bad for a supposed 330 guy.
Was rough. Oh my God.
1 tech guy. And that was at a higher weight. Now he's at 300 and he plays with a high pad level and he gets off the ball slow. I think maybe they're trying to find a way to get the best out of him. And I think White Cotton will push him. You might see a better Mazi in a different aspect, but will you see a productive guy at this weight and snapping and a third scheme? I don't know, man. I'm a little more worried than I was coming into this thing, because I thought Mazi was coming in at 315, 320, 325. I mean, that's
Scott. That's
the saving. I don't care nobody
grace. That's the saving grace, because when you look at Aaron Whitecotton, when we go back and think of Solomon Thomas when he was with the San Francisco 49ers, he was considered like, hey, who's this guy? He's not living up to potentials. And then you look up Javon Kinlaw when he was with the 49ers. It was like, hey, who is this guy? He's not living up to potentials. But both of those guys, when they went to Jets, they lived up to their potential to a degree. So that's why I'm giving Mazi grace and mercy, because of Aaron Whitecotton.
Oh, well, Sky said something about strength. I don't know how if you guys know about like massive weight loss and, like boxers who go down in weight. And the problem that I'm having now, guys, is, okay, he's up, he's down. When is he going to be able to sustain that strength? Because, like, it's like a boxer. it's a different boxer at 140 than at 150. You know what I mean? And so, like, it's. I'm just gonna wait and see. But Sky, you spot on, bro. Like, it's the get off is bad. I did a piece on Mazi, and the Atlanta game was awful because they're running so much zone. He didn't fill double teams. He didn't. He was literally getting pushed around against the Giants. Lesser O line. He looked better. I mean, he had a few splash plays against the Eagles. I mean, so,
Washington.
but yeah. But it's the problem is, okay, Mazi, it's now over for the splash plays. Like, you're a first round pick. We need consistency. We're giving you the 3-year defensive tackle tax, all of it. Now it's time to go. And I'm patient with a lot of these guys, but bro, come on. And so now you're asking them to lose weight again. I do think there is some weight to what Law's saying about Aaron Whitecotton. I think Aaron Whitecotton is the best D-line coach that he's probably had.
I agree.
You know what I mean, Scott? But that being said, Jay Toia is about to have Aaron Whitecotton. Some of these other guys are about to have Aaron Whitecotton. And so now, like, hey, man, if these guys are getting it done, John, they're going to play.
Can I? This is just my thought of why they may have asked him. And honestly, John, maybe you can ask one of the guys at the podium or in a walk-off or what have you. I'm just guessing here. I think they watched Mazi Smith's film and said, there's no way in how he plays technique-wise and his delay off the snap that in his ability to hold the double from a 0 or 1, that is a guy we can count on consistently to do it. So we're going to have to ask him to do more 3 things. And we know coming out, he was on the freaks list. And I got to be careful saying that because no Diddy, things going on. But there was the, was it Feldman? What's his name?
Yeah, Bruce
Feldman. That's my guy.
Feldman's freak list. He was on that.
And he was number 1 on the list.
It was number 1.
Oh, Bruce loved
everybody on the list is a freak. And it's like a 20, I don't know, it might be 50 guys. And he was number 1 out of that class because of his athleticism and how much he can lift, So
my thought, I'm just thinking, my thought is, I wonder if they want to just tell Mazi, look, bro, no more thinking. No more having to take on a half a man here and then a half man on this side, doubling up, peeking and shedding. Just get the hell up field. When go pop on the field, when you do it, it looks good. You don't do it enough. You're thinking just shed a little weight. Get a little quicker, do some speed drills, work on your feet, work on your hands. Bro, just shoot the gap. We don't want you thinking no more. Just shoot the gap. We got big fella 342 Toia. Not saying he's the savior, but they ain't doing nothing else right now at nose tackle. He's the only big fella that's 340 plus. And if you watch his UCLA tape, he's not a guy you got to ask about taking on double teams, peeking, shedding, disengaging, shooting. He plays like a true nose. Mazi does not play like a true nose, not one iota since he's been in the NFL. So I'm just guessing. Sorry to be long-winded. I wanted to just saying, man, we'll take this off your plate, fam. Just shoot the damn gap.
I think too. We've said this. We're gonna see a better run defense as a whole. Now,
I think schematically we will.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will, Sky.
Who's the anchor? Look, I get it. Run defense involves everybody, but usually that middle of the defense is the anchor, right?
No, you're right, Scott.
You go look around the league, there's somebody who's anchoring that for us, man. That's the concern.
We got to find that. You know what? Hey, Scott, let's stay right here. Scott, I'm going to get this one to you. Formula 4488. Thank you for the $4.99. Well, you could have gave us that extra penny. Come on, baby. I appreciate you.
That's YouTube.
Oh, that's YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, they only let you go.
YouTube. Thank you, Formula 444-88888. I think I messed the 8s up. Hey, fellas, could Jay Toia become the starting one tech? Sky, take it away.
I will be brief since I just went on the whole rant. Yes, if they don't address it during camp. Like he could eventually be the starting one tech, maybe at some point, in the season. But right now, I will say no. I think they'll go out and get a guy, or they'll just say Mazi and whomever else moonlight there. But yeah, sure, it could happen.
I think he could be it, but I think it's going to take him some time. I mean, defensive tackle, generally, you don't just hit the ground running, even the elite first round guys, let alone a 7th round pick. But it could be a diamond in the rough that, after he gets some games under his belt, that he ends up being like the answer there it wouldn't surprise me. He seems like he's wired the right way, and he certainly seems like he plays like he fits that type of a style. But it just a 7th-round pick at defensive tackle to be asking them to come in immediately and be your guy there. It seems like it's asking for a lot. I mean, really, who's the last one tech the Cowboys have had that you really, really felt comfortable about?
Man, you had to go all the way back, man. Justin
I mean,
Hankins,
I liked Hank, but Hank was a short-term fix.
Right.
Yeah, I really like Hankins.
And the whole ideology of Jay Toya being the starter year one, the smartest guys on your teams normally are your centers and your guards. They are very intelligent guys. It's too much of a learning curve for him to beat out those guys on a consistent level. If the Cowboys serious about this spot, they go get a veteran guy to squeeze into that.
Yes.
Into that role and then just rotate Jay Toya in here and there. And of course with Mazi, but he shouldn't be the starter. Even if he's ready, he shouldn't be the starter because that position. Because of
I don't know. Well, you said even if he's ready. If he's ready, Law.
Yeah, he won't be. Yeah.
But then that's different. If he's not ready, he's not. But if he's ready, I mean, I don't expect him to be a 17-game starter right now. Like I'm with you. But if he shows that, hey man, this is a rarity, yeah, you throw him out there. But you should not be counting. You should not be counting on your 7th-round pick. That's just silly.
That part, yeah, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, that part, you shouldn't be counting on a rookie for the 7th round. You're right.
Yeah. It's the Mazi thing is starting to become a little baffling. I mean, it is what it is. I'll ask this. I guess I'll answer this one here. Gene Marks leaves a $5. Thank you, Gene. Does it matter if he's light because he benches over 550 pounds? That was the big hype coming out, was his strength. So to me, that's great, but it doesn't show up on film, and that's the problem. Like, and the play strength, and he's on the ground, and he's this, and he's getting double teamed. He doesn't feel double teamed. So, I mean, like, you guys all know those athletes who, man, they were workout warriors, and any sport you played, and then you got them on the field. It's like, man, this just ain't it. Like, he just don't got it. And I'm getting to that point, and I don't want to, throw that out there with Mazi, but so the fact that he benches 550 pounds out the window because we haven't seen it. Like, when's the last time that you've seen rep after rep Mazi just walk a center back into a quarterback's lap? Yeah, I don't see him bench press centers.
You're right, Foots, because football principle 101, slow feet don't eat, right?
Yeah.
So he's not going to be able to eat. And then your con is outweighing your pros because of the fact that even though he's strong, he still played with too much of a high pad level, and somebody as small as me can get up under there and redirect and move him up out of the way. So that is a problem. Even though he's strong as an ox, his feet are just too slow to eat. So we're going to see how Aaron Whitecotton can get them together. But
to your point, Law, another thing is he allows offensive linemen to get into his chest first. Like he doesn't initiate the punch and is able to drive back because he gets off the ball slow, right? But I always bring this story up. It's not even really a story because he said it publicly, but this is the epitome of who he is right now. Jonathan Hankins was on one of them shows down there in Oxnard a few years ago, and they asked him about who's the strongest player on the team. He said, Mazi Smith. In the weight room, nobody does better than Mazi Smith from strength. He said, on the field, I'm the strongest. He was like 32 years old at that time. And he said, that's something the young guy is going to have to learn how to do. He said, my play strength is stronger than anybody on this team. He said, Mazi's, not quite there just yet, but that's something he has to learn. And that has stuck with me because I don't care if he benches 1,000 pounds. Can he move 1,000 pounds consistently on the field? That has not happened because technique will always win over strength. Aaron Donald's 290 pounds. He will throw a 330-pounder. I watched Micah Parsons with one hand lift a left tackle that weighed like 320 and get him off the air. Micah 246. It's technique when it comes to that, and he doesn't play with it consistently enough. I don't care if he benches 550. And
the thing about Micah is it ties into what Law said, Sky. Micah turns speed to power. Aaron Donald speed to power. It's the footwork. Mazi slow off the ball. And his feet are in mud. So the strength, I mean, these guards, like and I want to do this for this last 5 minutes. I want to ask you guys because I want to to have a storyline as we go through camp and what we want John to watch for. And I want you guys, even Sky and Law, to keep notes on what you guys are watching for so we can get John to come back and report to our fans of the Cowboys Collective.
I'll be quick right there. I want to see the get off with Mazi. I want to see his hands. I want to see if are they quicker? Is the white cotton teaching helping? Because I promise y'all, when he does get off the ball, it looks like, okay,
it looks,
there's something there. But then it's like, damn, that only happened like twice in this game, but it's something there. So that's what for Mazi, that's what I want to see. Is the get off? Is it improving? Is his hands improving?
He makes me think of like just like a player that's in any sport that just playing without much confidence, like you could be a star basketball player, and it's like when you don't have any confidence, like not only are you not hitting the three, you don't even look sure of yourself at the free throw line. Like it permeates throughout the entire game. You obviously see a lot in baseball with pitchers, when they're not confident, it's like they can't locate anything. And for me, like I just don't feel like I've ever really seen him super confident since he's been a Dallas Cowboy. I mean, there like you guys said earlier, there have been a couple of games against the Giants, where I felt that way. There were some reps last year in training camp in individual drills where I was like, oh, damn, I can see that, that's why somebody would think of this guy as like a day 1 or day 2 pick. But like when it comes to Sundays, there's just something about it that it makes me wonder if it was like he could rely on that strength so much because he was so much stronger than guys in college. And then he got to the pros and some of that stuff he was doing, maybe it just he's not as confident in it because he's like, damn, this doesn't work as much as, but it's tough because he doesn't really care to talk to reporters,
It's so, even all of that stuff is like, bro, you need, I know, but it's just
he ain't that tight.
Yeah, that may not be his bag. That's
but you know what?
Just go improve. That's all.
You go and improve. But I know we spent like over 50 minutes talking about.
No, this is good stuff.
One of the people that I really want to take a real good look at to see if they improve is Tyler Guyton.
Hey, so look. So this is what I want to do, Law.
Mazi played about 25 to 30 snaps.
Tyler play all of them.
60, all of them. So he needs to improve more than anybody.
So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get to this last super, and I want you guys. We're gonna take this storyline down. We're gonna do this on the Cowboys Collective. I got homework. I get y'all homework. So first, one more for you guys. What's this BS that Stress said about Jaden Blue? Any truth to that? I was going to stay away from that, and I'm glad it got buried. Me and Scott texted about it. Law, I don't know how you feel. John, I don't know how you feel. I'll just hit it real quick. Guys, how can you know a player's lazy and he's literally went through OTAs? Like, I don't know if there's any truth to it. There's been some reports that came out and said, no, not really. I'll just get my opinion on it. The guy's head's probably spinning. He has to pick up pass pro. He has to learn the scheme. I don't think he's lazy, and I thought it was kind of Bush League for that to come out.
You're being nice. I thought it was dirty. I thought it was foul.
Cool.
And how this guy portrayed it. He was probably talking about college and what he was hearing out in college, because some of that, there is some Jaden Blue is a bit of an asshole in college. But there's nothing to show that in the pros yet, from what I was told, that he is lazy. Is he trying to learn the playbook? Is that something he's trying to pick up? Yes, that's what I was told. But lazy was not something that came about. So I thought it was foul that he was probably using what he heard from college, from those guys, and him being a bit of a DH. But I've not heard lazy, and I don't think not many other people have heard that either. So it was foul in how he reported. But he's not a reporter, so I shouldn't even say reported it. Maybe the follow up and how it got out was a bit Bush League. Because you took something by a guy and who, for all intents and purposes, is not John and down there with those guys. Is not as plugged. I don't care if he knows a coach from 2001 or something like that. That was low. Something about it.
Yeah, and then to do that to a young player, I don't like that when it comes to young players. So that's all I'm gonna say on it. And Sky's right. I probably am being too nice, even though I kind of went hard on Twitter and. I'll leave this reporter nameless. He DM'd me
he's not a reporter.
No. You know what I'm talking about, Sky. I'll tell y'all after the show. Yeah. I kind of went hard. I said, what's the point in this? This is stupid. And then somebody DM'd me and said, why would you call him out? Boy, I don't care nothing about that. I'm not trying to be these folks' friends. If I feel like it's Lulu, it's Lulu. Don't do that to a young player, bro. It is what it is. I call a spade a spade. That's why I don't get close to people for those reasons.
If John would have reported that, I'd have been like, John, show me your work, bro. Because hold on, wait a minute, goddamn.
But see, that's why John at the cookout, because he don't do stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not really ever trying to do that stuff. Like, I mean, there's definitely been players over the years that I hear stuff about that's not great about work ethic and things like that. That it's really not worth it to really put a lot of that stuff out there. And to be honest with you, there are very few of those players that can hide it on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday tells you just about all you need to know about. There's just very few guys that
can
just show up.
Camp still.
If it's a hard camp,
do anything, and then they ball out on Sundays. Usually,
if Jaden Blue is lazy, we'll know.
Oh yeah,
he won't play.
We'll
right? Yeah, like we'll like. Come on, man. So what I want to end with is this. Sky Law John.
Say this on Jaden Blue before you go to the ending part of it.
Hold on. Anthony just made it, and this is what we're talking about. He said Dane Brugler put on a scouting report. Dane Brugler put on a scouting report about character and, like I said, being an asshole and a DH and things like that. But again, that's college. The guy on that show that then someone recycled it. The guy was speaking as if it was happening in the pros, and from what I was told, from people speaking to people down there, that is not the case because they haven't even been around enough to even, give that. And that's not something that they've been giving off. Now, what I was told was that it was more of, hey, he's trying to pick up this playbook. He doesn't have the playbook down pat. That's not, this guy's lazy as F.
Bro, it's an NFL playbook. People got to relax. Like, NFL playbook. Now, I want to say this.
My bad. Go ahead. Yeah.
It
was a super chat.
Shouts out to the super. Shouts out to, hey, Scott, we got 580 people in here. This is crazy.
Oh, wow. I can't even see that.
As long as John, this is the biggest thing. If John doesn't put raisins in potato salad, we good. I don't care about nothing else. Nobody being lazy. Just John, do not bring no raisins to no cookout. Here we go. This is what I want to do, guys. And here we go. Sky, what is one? So you said you're looking for the get off. But what is one battle that you want John to keep tabs on? And I'm going to go around the room. And then, John, you give us one that you're going to – and I want it to be an offensive player versus a defensive player. Because you guys got me thinking about – you guys got me thinking about Mazi, so I got mine. And I just don't want nobody to steal mine. So, Sky, don't steal mine. Because I got once you started talking about Mazi, I said, I know what I'm thinking. I know what I'm watching.
Well, I'll do low hanging fruits here because you'll get a whole lot of one-on-ones and even without the pads, you can see a little sham. But I'm looking forward to seeing these corners against these wide receivers. And if I had to specifically pick one,
I'm writing this down still. You on record?
Let me see DB against GP. And the reason why I'm going this way, DP probably going Deron Bland, DB, is likely going to be the guy lining up against the A.J. Browns week 1. And I'm not saying that George Pickens, A.J. Brown, the same player, but they're the physical types, right? So we need Deron to get ready for that battle in week 1. And George Pickens got to be the guy that's making him work. And hopefully Deron is making George Pickens work, right?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a great one, Sky. Well, I got you written down for that. Law. Give me a battle, offense, defense that you're looking at.
Okay, I'm looking at O-line, D-line. I'm looking at
sir.
If we can keep it blocked up front, it's going to create a better play from Dak Prescott and a better running game from the running back groups, even though it's frowned upon that we're doing running back by committee. So if this O-line can stand tall, and primarily we're looking at Tyler Guyton versus all of these edge rushers that we got. Shout out to my alum, Jackson State University, James Houston. He's going to be a guy that I'm going to be really looking at. I'm going to got my pom-poms. I'm going to be cheerleading for him because I really want him to succeed in this league. Outside of that, I'm looking at Terrence Steele on the offensive line. So these guys on the O-line is what I'm very much so interested in, even though I mentioned D-line versus O-line. Those are the two groups I'm looking at.
So you're looking at Guyton versus the DNs and Steele versus the DNs?
Real quick, I don't know if I'm awake as an Eagle fan, but let me tell you something right now because he said Sky shook.
I ain't scared of you, mother.
Man, let me. You must don't know who I am. For real, it's mother Philadelphia Eagles over here. Okay, so no, there's no shook. Dak Prescott playing. Yeah. I'm awake. If you an Eagles fan, welcome. But I ain't scared of you, mother. That's all I'm gonna say. But go ahead.
They must not know we're still gonna pop it at all times.
I'm back up here in PA too. So I lived and breathed this rivalry for my whole entire life. Ain't never been scared of no Eagles, man.
Hey, it's lit. We almost got 600 on the first day back. I'm just saying the best podcast in the world. John, what battle are you looking for, bro?
Man, I want to see, as much as you guys talk about like the guys you need to step up, all those are great ones. But for me, I want to see good against good. And let me see Tyler Smith against Osa, or even your first round pick in Booker against those defensive tackles. Like when they do that, when they do those one-on-one drills, those are the times where it's like, I mean, you're absolutely on an island, which you're not on Sundays, but I think there'll be some highlights between those. But I just think that this is, Osa got paid. You know, he's one of those guys now. He's got a bigger leadership role in that. I think he's going to be a great fit for what Eberflus does. So I'm looking at him to take another step. So Osa against any of those young interior offensive linemen.
Hey, that and John, we can end on that one because I said the same thing. I want to see Mazi Smith versus Tyler Booker in board drills, one-on-ones, pads clacking. I know that won't happen till Sunday the 27th. I want to see it. I want to see it. I don't want to see. And if we see Mazi getting pushed around, number one, I'll be happy about Tyler Booker. But then it goes back to what we said earlier. Like, now this is an issue. You know what I mean? Now this is something to think about because the strength and it matters. Like it all matters. And John, you actually got a special request, so I want to end on this note. And this has been a monster show. But Craig English with the comment of the day. So John, that's your homework.
I saw that a bunch of times. I just value my job too much for that. Not to mention.
Come on,
while
man. We need to get
Cowboys fans might not like him, there are a lot of former players that like him a lot. And they would be very upset if somebody did that to Jerry Jones. And I don't need these people coming after me, okay? So I will not be slapping anybody. All right.
John Machota, Law Nation. Law, you going to practice tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. So John, we'll link up tomorrow.
Okay. Tag team.
Thursday, man. Yeah, tag team.
Dang, Sky. We only got to be there. We let all the bros do the work, man. Yeah. We just get to sit at home and get the information. I get to look at John's videos, make my own look at that. Golly. But John Machota, Law Nation, Skywalker Still. If you guys are good, I'm good. Everybody cool?
Everybody
yes,
good.
Sir.
All right, man. Thursday, 9 p.m. We will see you. Make sure you guys are adding us also wherever you guys listen to your podcast. Make sure you guys are adding us. We love you all. We'll see you guys on Thursday.
Hey, before we go, real motion, real momentum. So you guys continue to support us, help us out, man, by sharing is caring. And we got some breaking unbelievable news down the stretch.
Just about to say that, Law. Good stuff.
We're going to save it, but y'all stay tuned.
The support is paying off. That's all we're going to say. And so we got a lot in store for the season, man. Really, really excited, man.
This is why Sky's going to be quarterbacking soon, because how could I forget to tease the breaking news? But anyway,
it's okay.
Man, Sky, Law, John, we're the best podcast, and I'm saying that. So just run the ratings up. Love you guys. Peace. That law. Yeah. Hey, man.